always what somebody wants to hear. Actually, there's a lot going on this week. Can you see that? I can zoom in. All right, let's do it. Welcome everybody. Welcome Stanga. Let's do it. In 3, a 2, and a 1. Wait, what cartoon is that from? You know what I'm talking about? Am I just making things up? In a 3, and a 2, and a 1. Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast. I am your host, Andy Ruther, coming to you live from the Smut Studio in Venice Beach, California, with my co-host, Joey No Chill Prano.
Hello, Andy.
Good Thursday morning.
Yeah. Happy Thursday to you, sir.
How you feeling today, Prano?
I feel great.
I do too. I feel really fucking good. I'm going to say not just really good, really fucking good.
Okay. What's that about?
I don't know, man. I've decided I like this training for this marathon. I'm really enjoying all these exercise. And I think I found a whole new thing. This isn't like a fad either.
What?
Every day, I'm going to just crush cardio.
All right.
And it's made me feel better emotionally.
It's good.
That's what I'm saying. Feeling good.
Congratulations.
Thank you. You're really quiet today. What's going on?
I know. You seemed like you were, off and running there. I was letting you go.
Like, what I decided last night was there's CrossFit and people do all that. I have my own CrossFit. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, I'm doing my own workouts. I don't follow a regiment, and that's what I love. Like, yesterday,
It's
shit.
regimen. There's no T on the end there.
Regiment, not regiment.
No.
Okay. I always pronounced it regiment.
Yeah.
I've been wrong all these years.
You pronounce a lot of things wrong.
But like yesterday, I just got in my little car and I said, I'm heading up to Malibu. I'm going to go hiking some mountains. Then I decided this week I'm also going to hit the sand dunes in Ventura County, do sprints up that mountain. That's sand dunes. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
I don't want to be around people.
Don't go to those sand dunes, buddy.
Well, I'll have my headphones in.
Right.
But my point is, I work out to my own tune as I listen to tunes. It's perfect.
I think a lot of people generally do that, right?
It's funny. My buddy, he goes, my buddy who doesn't live here anymore, he lives up in the Bay Area. He started a group DM with me and a friend. He goes, my other buddy's training. I'm going to connect you guys. So he goes, dude, you're training for a marathon. Meet my friend Andy. He's training for a marathon. This is on Instagram. And I was like, no offense, dude. I don't train with people. It's cool that you're running the marathon, but we ain't running together. I'm not about that.
Why not? You don't want to like a lot of people do train together for like, pacing purposes and like
I don't need that.
Okay.
Like my
the
thing.
last marathon you ran, you Periscope walked for 5 hours.
The last marathon.
Obviously, you've trained a lot harder for this, but I'm just saying, is it safe to say you don't know what you need?
The last marathon was, I'll reiterate this, disgusting. I was a human walking pile of trash. And my thing is, I don't want to train with people because it's not about the working out. It's about the solitude and the time to think. Does that make any sense?
Well, I'm just going to say there's some dangers that come with that. Like when you train alone, like let's say you're running along the street, there's always a chance that one of the greatest coaches in Big East history will run you over. When you're
that is what we call a segue in the
when you're
biz.
running with two people, 50% chance that you're the guy who gets hit.
It's a good point. I was concerned about the mountain lions yesterday.
Yeah.
Running by myself. That's a great point. Jim Boeheim went full Caitlin, or was it Bruce?
Well, Bruce
is the one who killed somebody.
I think it was Caitlin then.
No, I think it was Bruce.
I think it was Caitlin because that was the joke, right? She switched. Everybody made the same, like, becomes a woman, immediately gets into an accident.
No, they did, but South Park has joked about. A lot of people have joked about it. What's his name? We like his Instagram page. Kyle Dunnigan always does the impersonations. I think that Bruce killed the person on the PCH.
Got it.
And now that Bruce is no longer a thing, it's like it never happened.
Yeah.
So yeah, Bruce killed the person on the PCH. So
but they weren't like walking, right? I think they were in a vehicle.
Yeah. Bruce
Boeheim's just taking out pedestrians.
Although Boeheim took out a pedestrian because somebody in front of him, it was basically a domino effect. Right?
I don't know. I didn't read a ton of it. I just know that Jim Boeheim killed a dude.
Yeah.
Honestly, adds to his legacy, if you ask me. Rest in peace, pedestrian. But he's got bodies on him now. Like, he's got the fucking scandal. He's got the bodies.
You know, my issue about Boeheim, he's always one of the grouchy guys about that these athletes aren't getting screwed. He's always one at the forefront of that. So my theory is he killed somebody who is pro college players getting paid. He's taking them out now with this vehicle.
Well, Jim Boeheim I agree on only half of that. I don't agree on killing pedestrians.
Big game this weekend. Will he coach? They're supposed to play Duke at home.
Okay.
I don't know if you knew that.
I assume that he will coach. Doesn't seem like a whole lot of stuff stops him. He's going to be like, the guy was in the street, blocker charge. I don't know what to tell you, but they called it a block, and we're on to Duke.
Boeheim apparently I'm just thinking of sports references. I heard the cars were lined up in a 2-3 zone, and he just mowed right through them and took the guy out.
Yeah.
The patented 2-3 zone that Syracuse runs. Actually, Syracuse, they won last night. That was the game before Duke, Carolina.
Yeah, beat the shit out of Louisville.
They blew out Louisville at the Carrier
Yeah,
Dome.
I actually watched the end of that game.
Me
I
too.
was like, I'll watch Duke, North Carolina. And then Zion got hurt, and I was like, I'm going to watch Netflix.
What does that make you feel as a Knicks fan?
I'm not sure if you saw my tweet, but
I did.
But I laid it out. There's only 3 possibilities here. Zion is fine, and the Knicks don't get the number 1 pick, and Zion goes number 1. Zion is hurt. The Knicks draft him anyway. They're like, we can't be the ones who pass on Zion. What if he was just sitting out because he wasn't that hurt? We did, we had Mr. Magoo, our team physician, look at him. They say he's okay. They draft him. He never plays a single game as a Knick. He retires with just his bonus money. Or 3, that he's hurt. The Knicks pass on him. Some team takes him number 2, and he becomes the single greatest basketball player in the history of God's green earth. He starts whatever team, the Bulls or the Cavs or the Suns, a dynasty. That we're talking about that draft forever. They're like, here's that day where he put on that Suns hat, and then they won 14 of the next 20 world championships.
You know who I blame? Spike Lee.
I blame Spike Lee, too.
They show Spike Lee right before tip-off. There was tons of celebrities at the game. It was one of the biggest fanfare college games I've ever seen. President Obama was there. I mean, everybody was there. We have a call later from John Smith, who was there doing media. Anyway, they show Spike Lee, and no lie, 2 minutes later, his shoe explodes, which awful PR for Nike.
Yeah, it's certainly not great. I mean, but what are you going to do? Everybody's talking about how this is a huge hit for Nike. And
well, it's really not.
Yeah, this is going to have almost – this already happened, right? This happened to Manu Ginobili. his shoe exploded. His Nike exploded. It's just that it happened in 30 seconds into this game. Everybody was hyped. Spike Lee was there. Obama was there. Ken Griffey Jr. was there.
Yeah.
Todd Gurley was there. This was the game. It was in Cameron. 30 seconds in, it happens. And, like, you could – first of all, he walked off the court, and he didn't walk off the court gingerly.
Yeah.
He walked off – like, he's fine. Now, I think he might very well take this as an opportunity to not play another basketball game in college. This might be his excuse, but I think he's fine. But the Knicks will be like, is he fine? I don't know.
But
we should go with R.J. Barrett just in case.
But you
And
bring
the
up
Phoenix Suns win 20 world championships.
You bring up a good point because we've seen that now in college football. Like Nick Bosa got hurt for Ohio State early. He said, I'm done. He's projected number 1 overall pick, top 3 pick at least. If I'm Zion Williamson, because we're talking his knee, though, and they're saying it's a minor sprain, what value does he have? He's already played over half a season. He's already shown how good he is. What value does it have to him to play? I would argue none. I don't know why he plays again.
Well, I guess
what additional value can he add that he's already proven he's the number 1 pick?
I guess there's a couple arguments for, like, why would he ever play. One would be he cares about basketball, and he cares about his teammates, and he cares about winning a championship with his team, even though, you know, they start 4 freshmen or whatever. But it's like, hey, we can do this. We can win a championship this year. And what is it real? Like, I'm fine. And what's really going to happen? Like, what are the chances that I fucking, you know, blow out a knee? Because then the problem with that scenario, if you are that guy, and I know there's a lot of people who are skipping bowl games. Skipping meaningless bowl games is one thing. But then it's like, well, why practice? When I get to the NBA, why practice? Why would I ever practice when, you know, I don't get paid to practice? I get paid to play in games. And you're just, you know, doubling my chances of getting hurt in practice. If I play in practice, I'm never going to get my second contract. I'm never going to get my max contract. Like, if you play scared, you're going to get hurt. Now, look, I'm not saying if this guy gives 0 fucks about his team that he shouldn't say, I'm sitting out until I get paid. But the other argument is then the fucking legacy people, like the shit dicks on Twitter, who think Michael Jordan is better than LeBron James, and the things they use for that are like his gold medals and that he won at UNC, and that, like, and you want to go, LeBron James is playing in the fucking NBA at 18 and dominating for 3 years before Michael Jordan was doing anything in the basketball. Who cares what happened in college? But people do it. People talk about, oh, Kevin Durant's legacy is his gold medals and his scoring, and it's like, whatever.
Yeah, but those people are idiots. Who cares? Again.
But again, there are. That is basketball. That is NBA Twitter. That's the world. Like, at this point, the millennials. I mean, Kevin Durant is letting those people affect his life and where he plays. Like,
well, that's his own problem. Again, my point is this.
I'm just making an argument for 2 reasons why you would play.
Well, the only argument I would use why he should play is to show that his knee injury wasn't drastic. You know, that it wasn't a serious injury. That's the only reason, in my opinion, that Zion Williamson should continue to play. But this injury, again, highlights how stupid the one-and-done rule is anyway. Zion Williamson shouldn't be playing college basketball at all. He should be in the National Basketball Association right now.
I mean, I agree 100%. I think that when stuff like this happens, the conversation often goes to 2 separate things. One, should he be in the NBA right now? And 2, should he be getting paid to play in college? To which I only agree with one of those things, which is I leave college not as it is, because obviously it's a very broken thing, and he probably is getting paid to play at Duke. But let guys go at 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Literally as early as an NBA team wants to give somebody a contract, a baseball team, a football team, I don't care what. I mean, football, if you wanted to say for some sort of safety reasons that you're not going to let guys whose brains aren't fully developed, but like what age is that even? Like I'm not sure it's 18 or 20, So I say let him go. These guys should be getting paid thing. I disagree. That's my personal stance. We've been over it a million times on this show. They are getting paid. A good number of people in this country are crippled with college debt. These guys will never have to worry about that. Only fucking 15 of them or 20 of them in the whole goddamn country are worthy of actually getting paid as to how it relates back to the fucking
But you
school.
know what's wild? You know what's wild? You know what I thought of? Do you remember that point?
And also, by the way, just one more thing. He should totally be able to fucking sign jerseys and work at a car dealership and whatever.
But that's the point I was going to bring up. Do you remember that porn star who went to Duke and she was using porn to like pay for either her undergrad or her I think she was going to law school.
Okay.
Belle Knox. Do you remember her?
No, but
it was a big story. That's what I find so funny. She was a full-time student at Duke while she was also shooting pornography, and that was totally fine, as it should be.
Yeah.
But my point is this. She could shoot porn and make porn videos while going to school, but Zion Williamson or R.J. Barrett or any of these guys couldn't be allowed to sign autographs to make money on jerseys or, memorabilia.
I mean, the problem, and I totally understand it, is the NCAA.
What's the difference?
Well, the NCAA has no way of saying like, yeah, you can do this, but here's how it's going to work. Like, for example, if you're the guy who owns all the Jimmy Johns in the Raleigh-Durham area and you're a big fucking Duke supporter and you want Zion to come to Duke, you could go, hey, man, come down and play Cameron every week, and when you get down here, I can't give you any money, but you could do autograph signings at Jimmy John's every week. I'm going to give you $40,000 of a Jimmy John signing. Every time you come, we're just going to give you $40,000, and it's going to be great for business. People are going to come in, buy sandwiches, and you're going to sign autographs. It's basically laundering money to him via a booster.
Yeah.
So there's no way of...
What's wrong with that?
Then it's basically just whatever booster has the most money gets the best players, right?
But again, if hold on, let's take a normal Duke student. Let's say it's not Zion Williamson.
That's why the answer is
let
them go to the NBA because there's only 10 of those guys.
But hold on, but let's say there's a YouTube star who has a huge social media following, and he says, I'm going to enroll at Duke. He could do that. That's the argument. The argument is a YouTube star could exactly do that, sign autographs, and make money while he's a full-time student at Duke.
That's my point. I'm saying if Zion Williamson wanted to sell autographs for $5 a pop, I think he should totally be able to do that.
Yeah.
The problem is what I just said is that you're going to have people that are basically laundering money through, like they're going to be like, yeah, we're totally paying you for an autograph signing, when really we're just giving you a boatload of cash to come to Duke. That's why I said there's literally not, I don't think there's 20 guys in any given college season that are getting handed a bag of money to go to school. Like those top 20 recruits are the difference. They're not giving the 50th rated player. They're not giving the last guy to make the McDonald's All-American team a car to attend Virginia Tech. You know what I mean? There's like 10 dudes.
I don't know about that.
You don't think so?
I think there's a lot. I probably disagree with that. I think there's a lot of shady under-the-table stuff.
But look at Louisville. I mean, we're talking about Louisville with Rick Pitino is like Rick Pitino, one of the great college basketball coaches ever, turned Louisville's program around. What he was offering those guys was like hookers. He's like, chicks will fuck you, and we'll pay for
Yeah, but
them.
again, we don't know everything.
I mean, I think the stories are coming. Like, do you think that there's guys out there that are getting handed boatloads of cash that we don't know about, and then they're just happen to fucking get the DeAndre Aytons and the Reggie Bushes and the whoever's of the world?
I don't know if there's boatloads of cash, and I'm not saying everybody is a Ayton or a Reggie Bush scenario, but I do think there's a lot of back end dealing that goes on with, oh, yeah, you can have this car, and it's signed under somebody else's name in a lease.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying?
And that's the thing. They'll never be able to police that.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. But my point is, if you allowed them to get whatever, it would just make that much easier. Because you could just then say, he's working at our car dealership.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now he's got 10 cars.
Sure.
They can give to his friends and family. And that they can sell.
But that's my point. I think there's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes, even if you're not.
That's why college sports is a fucking sham.
Well, exactly.
It should be ignored entirely.
It's a total sham.
Yeah. Glad we agree.
By the way, Jimmy John's was my go-to late night food at St. Louis University.
I don't even think I'd had Jimmy John's for the first time until like 5 years ago.
They opened one my junior year. It got robbed easily 5 or 6 times within the first couple of years. Because St. Louis U it's not in the best area outside of campus. And that was my go-to. You get the gargantuan, that's what it's called. The biggest fucking sandwich.
Jimmy John's pretty good.
I think it's pretty good.
Yeah. Sadly, I was in Wawa country in college.
So what was your go-to late night meal?
Either a meatball hero from Wawa or like an Italian combo.
Yeah. That's my biggest knock on LA, man.
As far as gas station sandwiches go.
But see, that's bad. You got to go to a gas station.
I mean, it wasn't the Wawa. Our Wawa wasn't actually a gas station. I mean, there are a lot of times they are at a gas station. Ours was just like a 7-Eleven, basically.
Yeah.
It's basically a 7-Eleven with hot food. But and the thing is, it's great. College student, I love it. I ate Wawa twice a week easily. But the Philly, Jersey people that act like it's going to the fucking Ritz and getting a steak, like, could never leave Philadelphia. How would I live without Wawa? You're like, dude, you're eating 7-Eleven sandwiches.
Yeah.
It's good 7-Eleven sandwiches, but relax.
I had a delicious taco stand burrito last night. Just want to give kudos to those hardworking individuals.
It's hardworking Americans.
Hardworking Americans outside of Trader Joe's on Sepulveda. Man, Prano, I'll tell you what. We have a big divide in this country. People who like taco stands and people who do not want people making burritos at a taco stand.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have a huge divide in this country.
100%.
It's wild.
Yeah. And like you said in your video, and I agree with you, and I've been saying it for years, it's actually people who like to eat food outside of their own home and people who do not like to eat food outside of their own home.
Yeah, but at this point, you know what's funny to me is that basically anything you buy, the chances of that being grown or picked by a migrant worker are extremely high.
Yeah.
We live in California. We see it.
Yeah.
All the spinach in the country is coming from here. You drive up the PCH or the 101, we see all the spinach fields. We know who's working those fields.
Yeah.
Anyway, you're giving away, I'm just looking up the rundown.
Yes.
You're giving a Porzingis jersey
I
away?
mean, the famous motherfucker Porzingis jersey. The famous jersey.
It's a GIF.
Is a GIF. It's the now world famous GIF from the first what we thought was the first serious Porzingis injury. It turned out it wasn't the first serious Porzingis injury. I ordered their alt jersey, the white jersey with the checkered one, the one we were talking about during the All-Star game that you hate in navy. They wear a home version in white. I've never worn it. It has the tags on it. It arrived to my door. I was watching the Knicks game. It had arrived earlier. The neighbor was like, "Hey man, this package got delivered for you." I open it. I'm literally watching the Knicks game. Porzingis gets hurt. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then I open this package, and it's the fucking Porzingis jersey I bought, which soon after he got hurt. And so I haven't worn it since. That's bad luck. But if there's a Mavs fan out there or a Knicks fan out there or whatever, I'm giving away my Kristaps Porzingis white alternate Knicks jersey. It's large, I believe. I believe it's a large.
What do they have to do to get it?
Follow me on Instagram.
Oh, it's a very simple giveaway.
Follow me on Instagram at Joe Prano. And I'm going to talk about it this episode. I'll talk about it next episode. And then this time next week, I'll just go on Instagram. I'll go to my followers. I'll hit a random letter, and the first name that comes up will get a Porzingis jersey. So all I got to do is follow me at Joe Prano. I'll cover everything. I'll cover shipping. I'm almost positive it has the tag on it. If it doesn't have the tag on it, I can guarantee you that it's never been worn outside of me trying it on. It's a large white Knicks Kristaps Porzingis jersey, and I don't want it. It makes me sad, and I want to give it to a good home. And
it's like giving away a dog.
Yeah, and also, obviously a lot of the stuff that's been, the divide you've been talking about, Twitter is breaking me down. I've been in
it's an evil spot, man.
It really, like I was saying to you before, I wish I could block people based on what's in their bio. I wish I could have a setting where I don't see anybody's comments that have an American flag in their bio, their religious beliefs in their bio, a Bible quote in their bio, I'm with her in their bio, a Me Too in their bio.
Resistance.
Anything. Like basically
MAGA,
anything political.
yeah.
Nothing, anything political, religious, faux patriotism.
Do you want to hear a tip? You know what you do?
Honestly, almost any emoji.
You know what you do? This is what I've learned. It's not been easy, but I've learned to do this. When I go on Twitter now, I see what's trending.
And you mute it?
No. And I see those 20 trends, and if I know it's something that's going to get me annoyed or, perturbed or anything, I don't click on that trend. But if it's something that's a news story, I just go to the news story, and I don't see any comments.
Right.
I mean, you're going to be disciplined.
Yeah.
But
I'm not disciplined. We've already covered that. I'm not disciplined on Twitter. I will fight people. But it's become a real cesspool on both sides. Both sides. Many sides have discipline issues. Right?
Yeah.
It's so what I want to do is I want to shift over a little bit more toward my Instagram and get it's just a happier place. I'll tell you who really inspires me is Michael Che. Do you follow Michael Che on Instagram?
I don't, but I will now.
He stopped using Twitter, and now all he does, he basically puts up tweets in his Instagram
I like
story.
him a lot. I think he's very funny.
He just puts a black background and then essentially writes his thoughts in a Instagram story. And
ooh, that's smart.
He'll write back to people who comment and stuff like that, but you can tell it's just too much work to there's no way he deals with he doesn't see anybody's shit. He doesn't see whatever. Twitter's really breaking me down. I almost unfollowed everybody yesterday entirely, and there's a purge coming. So my apologies to anybody that gets unfollowed in an upcoming purge. Anybody who donated to Vince, if you get purged, slide into my DMs and you can make your case. But I will check your bio, and if there's an emoji or a Bible quote, I'm not sure you'll make it. I've gotta dial it back because at least until Trump's not off. I don't know what it is.
We're not turning back. I hate to say this. It doesn't matter about Trump at this point anymore. We can't turn it back. Things are
like
only
I said
on
on our live broadcast on Saturday too. Like, gun to my head, I would have voted for Trump over Hillary. No one put a gun to my head and made me make that decision, thankfully. But I would have because she's also the goddamn devil. But everybody, I don't know anybody's political. There's 4 people whose political opinions on Twitter I don't think are hilariously awful takes. Hilariously awful takes.
I'm telling you, try doing what I'm telling you to do. You look at the trends. If it's something that's going to get you annoyed, you don't click on it. And if it's something like a news story, like the Jim Boeheim thing, I woke up today. Oh, he's a trend. What happened? Clicked on his name. Oh, then I go to a news story to see exactly what happened.
Yesterday, you sent me a tweet. I don't know if it's on the rundown, but you sent me a tweet from Cuck Rovell about the Kaepernick jersey being sold out. And you're like, check this out. Kaepernick jersey sold out in 24 hours. and I replied to you in quotes. I said, he probably bought them all himself, and then put like half of the internet. Like, because you can't even see the simplest story.
But you
can't
could.
even see like the Zion Williamson shoe falls apart news without going under it and having it turn into like, oh, maybe they should focus on making better shoes and not some Black Powers jerseys. And you're like, oh my God, how many size 18 shoes do you think they make a year?
But you can. That's my point. If you click on, like, take the Darren Rovell thing I sent you. It's just a tweet saying that.
But I can't not see what.
Yes, you can. Don't say that. Don't say you can't. Don't say that you can't. I'm working on it too. I'm getting so much better. And once when I do falter and I realize, why do you care what these people think? You don't. Why do you care? Like
my new thing is just I did Kime Mutombo. The people who have never replied to me or never whatever, like I went under the Rovell thing and some guy's like, maybe they can focus on making better shoes instead of some N-words jerseys. I was like, block this. Like, just in case he ever finds me on Twitter, like block. I'm just like blocking people who have never seen me before. Like, doesn't follow me, never replied to me. Blocked. You're blocked. I'm on a block party. I think I'm up to like 600 people I've blocked on Twitter. I'm going for a record. I'm just going full Mutombo.
I think you need to. You know what, man? I think here's my advice. Just spend less time on there.
The problem is that's where the news is.
No, I agree. It sucks because the best way to get your news is through Twitter.
In the moment.
Is through Twitter.
In the moment.
I
Otherwise,
agree.
like, even like the alert on the iPhone where like they'll send you the big story is like 20 minutes delayed.
Yeah.
And like that's the beauty of Twitter. The beauty of Twitter is that it's immediate. The downside of Twitter is that I have to see your shithead opinion.
But again, you don't. If take the Jesse, is it Smollett? How's his name? He gets indicted, right? Or he gets charged with whatever his I don't know what his technical charge is. You can click on that news story.
I will never click on that news story because like I don't care about any side of that fucking.
But
news
that's
story.
my point. Is you can click on that story and read the story for what it is from a legit news publication without seeing people on either side. Like, it is possible.
Yeah.
You're just telling me you can't, but I'm telling you can.
But I'm telling you, even the more immediate than the trend is the news that's you're getting as you swipe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When shit happens in the immediate.
Yeah.
But it's a cesspool, that's for sure.
It's disgusting.
I gotta say, I was listening to the dude Jack Dorsey on Simmons. I know he went on Rogan, and Rogan didn't ask him anything, and the Cash App, and there's a whole fucking scandal about that. But he went on Simmons, and Simmons did ask him about some shit. And what Simmons said, and at the time, and this is only like a month ago, Simmons like, I wish there was a way, like, have you thought about making it so that I can mute my, like, that I never see a comment under any tweet? And he's like, well, and and I was like, well, that would be fucking dumb. Like, you got to see what people say when you tweet. And now I was like, no, that's what I want. That's what I want.
Yeah.
I want to only see the people I fucking follow and the things that they retweet.
You got to remember, all these social medias, Instagram does it too. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, they don't make your timeline chronologically. You have to
reset that every day on Twitter now.
Exactly. You have to reset that every day.
I don't even think you can do it on Instagram anymore.
And people don't realize that. So basically what these big companies are doing is they're trying to tell you and me and whoever what we should look at, what we care about, which is fucking bullshit. They're trying to like basically be the artificial intelligence for us, which I think is very harmful psychologically and emotionally to people. It's not healthy.
Yeah.
Bro, I'll make an exception for you. I don't normally train with people. Start running with me. Start doing, Andy's little thust workout. That's what we'll call it because I'm all over the map now. And then you're not on this shit. You can decompress. We can run up the sand dunes.
I mean, I went for a hike in Malibu myself yesterday. Like I'm on the same plan.
And how good did you feel?
I felt great.
Exactly.
But the point is that you get down off the hike, and the first thing that you find out is that this especially in the sports, us being a sports show, Like nothing keeps you on the Machado news and
Yeah.
like all that shit. Like all the stuff that we're gonna talk about. It was funny. I made talk about I mean, obviously they didn't take it as bad as Ohio, the butthurt Ohio tweet that I did, which was still again, my favorite part about the butthurt Ohio tweet that I sent was it was the hackiest, dumbest, triggering only the stupid Ohio joke ever. I made the dumbest, triggering San Diego fucking joke yesterday.
I saw it.
And didn't even think. I was like, you know what the beauty of this joke is? No one in San Diego gives a fuck about anything.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna have the trolls. Of course, I forgot that San Diego, heavy military area, heavy Christian area. So here come the 1A MAGA fucking Semper Fi replies about how fucking not everybody in San Diego's lazy. And it's like, well, maybe if you fucking guys, I've been to San Diego a million times. I've been to fucking Molly Malone's to do comedy. A lot of military guys there in flip-flops. Are you chasing ISIS in flip-flops, fellas? Semper Fi. Semper Flip and Flop. You fucking...
Yeah, but again, man, just ignore
Can't
the
do
responses.
it.
You can do it. I have faith in you. Just ignore the responses. Write a joke. I'm not saying it's easy.
I've been fighting stupid my whole life.
And I'm not saying you shouldn't respond to people. I'm not saying either of those things. I'm just saying, Joe, I hate to say it, just like I was saying before the show, we both know the war on drugs is unwinnable. It has been proven statistically. We spend $78 billion a year.
We're not even. No one's trying to win that war.
Well, exactly.
It's a fake war.
It's a fake war that we spend $78 billion a year with no positive results. That's what this is for you. You're not going to win this war ever. It's the war on drugs, bro.
But the war on drugs is fake. My war on stupid is real.
But
it's just a guerrilla war.
You ain't changing anybody.
I'm just James Bond. Like James Bond's not carpet bombing things, but he's killing people one at a time.
Well, let's talk Manny Machado.
Let's do it.
You just mentioned your tweet.
Yeah.
He signed with the Padres for 10 years, $300 million.
I like this deal. Everybody is been fucking shitting on it, but here's why I like it. I like it for multiple reasons. The first reason is welcome back to being a Major League Baseball team, San Diego Padres. You have a great stadium. You play in a beautiful city that's had 2 rainouts in the history of the fucking Petco Park.
Is that true?
Yeah.
2.
In the history of Petco
Wow.
Park, they've had 2 rainouts. Southern California is a baseball haven. The San Diego Padres deserve to be good. The San Diego Padres forever have been a team. Now, San Diego's not a massive market, but it's a city. They've forever been a team that, I mean, they don't cry poor because they don't cry anything. They're just like, here we are. We're gonna be everybody in the history of San Diego. We're gonna half-ass everything. Every once in a while, we'll get inspired. We'll sign both Uptons simultaneously and give them a bunch of money. And people will be like, "Oh, the Uptons!" And everybody who knows baseball is like, "The Uptons? What are you guys doing? Are you drunk on fucking tequila down there? Do you guys just get back from a fucking, long weekend in Baja? Did you just roll out of the Hong Kong club in Tijuana and cross the border and sign both Uptons simultaneously? Go home, Padres. You're drunk." But what happened yesterday was a culture change for the San Diego Padres in one move. The San Diego Padres, you can say this factually about the San Diego Padres right now. The San Diego Padres are responsible for the single biggest free agent signing in the history of Major League Baseball.
Well, what was Stanton's deal? 13,325
Yeah, but I'm saying on a per year
basis.
On a per year basis.
Yeah.
For the length, the amount.
Yeah, you're right. It's more per year. Now, our former intern, Joe Shaboring,
Yeah.
as he always does, just started blowing up
Right.
our text messages.
Yeah.
How this is an awful signing, this is bad, blah, blah, blah.
Well, he's wrong, first of all. He's right in theory that like Manny Machado alone isn't going to make the Padres a World Series contender. But Manny Machado at third base
Yeah.
for the San Diego Padres, whether Joe Schiavelli likes it or not, is way better than whoever they were going to have play third base. They weren't signing Nolan Arenado this offseason. They weren't signing Chris Bryant this offseason. They have Manny Machado, and he is now their third baseman, and they have decided to make a culture change there. There's no way that they're just going, we're the fucking Padres, and we don't give a shit, but we're going to give this guy $300 million. So Joe Schiavelli can love the deal all he wants, but the fact of the matter is the Padres are in the NL West with the Dodgers and are now trying.
Yeah, they're attempting.
They're attempting. And Schiavelli can fucking go, oh, I love that they have Will Myers on for 5 more years, and I love that they have Hosmer for blah. Guess what? There's no salary cap in baseball.
Yeah.
The Padres have a fantastic farm system. Fernando Tatis Jr. is going to be on the left side of that infield. I mean, their infield is going to be Machado, Tatis Jr., Kinsler, and Hosmer. It's a pretty good fucking infield. Now, Will Myers, are they overpaying Will Myers? And is it hilarious that Will Myers? Yeah, but guess what? You know what every fucking World Series team has? A guy that used to be good that is still getting paid a bunch of money to fucking be the 6-hitter. I mean, Matt Kemp didn't get an at-bat in the World Series last year. Or he got like 2 at-bats or whatever the fuck it was. Did Joe Schiavelli think that was hilarious? That they were giving fucking one-time MVP Matt Kemp $50 million or whatever it was to sit on the bench and fucking pine tar his bat? If you're going for it, you're going to be overpaying somebody who's hitting 6th on your team or 7th on your team. Will Myers, I'd love Will Myers to be on the Mets. Would I love him to be on the Mets for his contract? Yeah, if the Mets were just like, we're going to spend all the money in the world. But you can say as a Dodgers fan, this deal doesn't scare me if you believe it means that the Padres have blown their load and that they'll never be able to sign anybody ever again. I think whether you like Manny Machado or not, whether you think he hustles or not, whether you think he's good or not, I think he's overrated. I don't think he hustles. I don't think he's a great locker room guy. But this is a sign that they are attempting to be a Major League ball club again. And of all the teams, he would have gone to shit in the Chicago White Sox. San Diego, he's now the face of the franchise. They have changed their culture with one signing. The White Sox, it would have just been like, oh, well, that's fun. This is like Machado on the fucking Orioles again.
Yeah. And from his perspective.
And this is, by the way, to talk about Twitter, this is my favorite part. This is how bad it's gotten. I saw somebody tweet, like, the argument was like, somebody was upset that he didn't sign with Chicago over, and some guy goes, it's pretty easy. If the city of San Diego offers you more money than the city of Chicago, you take it, and you don't even think twice. And some guy starts listing reasons you'd rather be live in Chicago. And I was like, guys.
Yeah.
Like, Chicago's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. There's literally no one that isn't technically obese that would rather live in Chicago than in San Diego. That's just a fact.
I was just going to get to that. The move from Los Angeles to San Diego is pretty easy for him.
I'd rather live in San Diego than in L.A. I moved to Southern California to live in San Diego, but I was like, I can't comedy-wise.
It's a great city.
It's fucking awesome. The ballpark's great. Dude, if they go for it, Schiavelli can love the deal all he wants, but guess what? You signed A.J. Pollock. So,
well, the Dodgers haven't done much at all this offseason except get rid of their fan favorite player and Yasiel Puig, get rid of, Wood in that deal, pick up fucking what's his name? I know they're going to cut him from the Reds. Homer Bailey. I mean, the Dodgers are the ones really not making moves.
Yeah. Of all the places that Machado could have gone, I think that this is good for everybody involved. I think it's good for him. I think it's good for the Padres. I think it's good for baseball. Because if he'd gone to the Yankees, it's just them stockpiling
Yeah.
fucking whatever. If he'd gone to the Dodgers, same thing, and Joe Girardi would have loved it. If he'd gone to, the White Sox, great. Now the White Sox have a guy that's like, it's like it would have been like him on the Orioles. It would have been like, oh, Machado, how long until he's unhappy in Chicago? If he had basically, they're the perfect middle ground because they're not very good. But again, it's a sign that they're trying. And I like that the Padres are trying. The only downside of the Padres trying is that tickets are going to get more expensive. And I love going down there and seeing games for nothing.
Here's the deal. We're both excited because we will go down there. I'm a huge fan of that ballpark. It's a great park. We're going to go hop on SeatGeek. We're going to get our tickets to some Padres games. I finally have a car that can sufficiently make the drive from L.A. to San Diego. We're going to go on SeatGeek, Joe. Not only are we going to go on SeatGeek for Padres in San Diego, you, me, and I believe Andy Lazarus.
Dirty Slides co-host Andy Laz.
All three of us are going to be headed to Phoenix, Scottsdale area.
Andy.
For spring training.
I believe we are. Yeah. We're looking at the 13th through the 15th.
Correct.
Catch some ball games. And, we're definitely going to use SeatGeek for that.
That's right.
And we're going to use SeatGeek we're going to use our promo code for SeatGeek to cut off that extra $10 that have been tacked on to San Diego Padres tickets with the signing of Manny Machado.
That's right, guys. So if you want to meet us, we'll post the games we're going to go to in Arizona. Again, we're getting those tickets on SeatGeek. You guys can meet us there because best of all Dirtballs get $10 off their first SeatGeek purchase. So you can use that in spring training. Just download the SeatGeek app and enter promo code DIRTY today. That's promo code DIRTY for $10 off your first SeatGeek purchase. SeatGeek, life's an event. We have the tickets.
If you're a dirtball down in Arizona and you haven't used your promo code yet, you want to get a sweet 4-man box right behind the home plate, come on down. It'll be Dirtball, Andy, Joe. Let's do it.
There's rumors that we're getting a Airbnb house.
Yeah, we're going to do a fucking – last couple of years, we went to the Shady Hotel.
The Ramada Inn.
You sleeping head to toe with Trevor. And Andy Laz.
Remember how drunk
Andy
he got
Laz,
last year?
Yeah, he was 50s cartoon drunk. Remember? Ew. He was drinking just X in bottles. He was like, "What is this?" You're like, "Ew."
He was the mouse from Dumbo.
Yeah. But Andy Laz is a full-on adult, so he was like, "Well, I'm not doing that."
Yeah. So I said, let's get a house. Let's make sure we get one with a pool. We'll Airbnb it up.
Pool or hot tub.
Pool or hot
Preferably
tub.
both.
And then you brought another great idea to the forefront last night. If we're going to get a house with a pool in Phoenix or Scottsdale, we might as well just film a porno.
Yeah. Well, you sent one Airbnb along that, like, most Airbnbs, when they take their photos, they take them, like, daytime. They try to show all the, like, natural light. You said one, it was like literally a dark home with, like, candles lit. They didn't even have their own lights on.
With a hot tub.
Yeah, it was at night, and it was candle lit. And I was like, are they trying to get people to come down here and shoot porn?
Yeah. I'm about that. I bet they film a decent amount of porns in that area. I shouldn't say I bet. I know from watching porn.
Yeah.
They film a fair amount.
Do a lot in Arizona.
They,
all that natural light.
Yeah, they'll do the ones where they like pick the girl up in the car, who's just randomly like hanging out in the desert. She just randomly has a guy pick her up.
All that clay style housing. It's easy to mop up after.
So Bryce Harper's still unsigned.
Yeah.
And the latest reports are saying he's turned down multiple $300 million deals, and that his agent, Scott Boras, is basically saying now that Machado has this $300 million deal, which is the biggest deal ever, correct?
Right.
Harper has to surpass that, and he's not going to sign with anyone unless he gets more than what Machado got. I mean, we're spring training a week.
I'm saying. You know the saying, it's getting late early. It's getting late. Like
fucking
opening day's a month away.
So exactly. So the argument is he's turning down by all.
Now the reports were he turned down offers from who?
Let me pull it up.
Because I want to break some things to some fan bases out there. The Yankees, I think Harper smartly is like, I'd basically always, I would turn, even if I was a player, and this isn't coming from a Yankee hater, this is coming from a businessman, I would turn down 5 offers from the Yankees because they have infinite money.
Yeah.
So if I'm Bryce Harper and Manny Machado got $300 million from the Padres, I'm not taking less than $400 million from the Yankees. The Yankees want me? You better give me all the monies.
So John Heyman, I don't know who he is, but he is reporting that Harper has turned down multiple offers over $300 million in recent weeks and names the Phillies, Giants, and Nationals.
The Nationals have had a deal on the table for him for like basically the entire year. Like they offered him an extension last year. He turned it down. He thought he was going to get more than that. I have news for the Phillies fans.
Okay, so here it is. These are there's believed that 5 teams are. This is as of yesterday from his tweet.
Yep.
He is a insider. Just so you guys know, John Heyman is an insider MLB Network. He is believed to be in contacts with 5 teams, including Philly, San Francisco, and Washington. So that's 3 of them. I don't know who the other 2.
Yeah.
But the report is yes that he has turned down.
Okay, so here's a couple things. One, what the fuck are the Dodgers doing? Wasn't that why you got rid of Puig? Wasn't that? I mean, I know that they signed AJ Pollock after that, but like you have all the money. I don't understand why the Dodgers haven't at least been talked about in this whole Bryce Harper thing. Like there's everything. Every Cubs fan told me he was 100% signing there.
Yeah.
Every Cubs fan was like, he's signing there.
Yeah.
He's going to be – he wants to 69 Chris Bryant in the fucking locker room every day and talk about Vegas. They're going to watch fucking Vegas Knights games. Not only is he going to sign with us, he's signing with us for nothing. He's going to sign with us for $200 million. Him and fucking Chris Bryant are going to open a bar together, and they're going to fucking, but it's only going to serve Shirley Temples because they're both fucking Mormon Vegas guys. Like, every Cubs fan told me. I haven't heard word one about the Cubs either. Dodgers, Cubs, you guys have been irrelevant. I got to break some news to Phillies fans. Bryce Harper does not want to play in Philadelphia, and rightfully so. He's been in the NL East. He's been going to Philly 9 times a year for the last however many years he's been in Major League Baseball, and he's been called a cunt probably more times than he's hit home runs in Major League Baseball. He doesn't want to play for you. You have all the money. You probably gave him the biggest offer, and the reason he didn't want to sign with you is because you're awful, awful people. And if I'm Bryce Harper, I'd be like, fuck that. What, now they want me after they call me a piece of shit every time I took the field? He does not want to play in Philadelphia. And I am assuming at this point what is happening is he is trying to get the Nationals to offer him what the Phillies offered him.
Well,
and just go, fine, I don't want to be in Washington either, but I'll go back because I don't want to be in Philly. The Yankees aren't offering me enough for all the pressure that comes with that.
The longer this goes on, in my opinion, just from a negotiating standpoint, I think the longer it goes on, he loses leverage every day.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
So here we are.
Until somebody shreds their knee. And then suddenly he has leverage.
My argument is this: if somebody wanted to give him more than $300 million, they would have, but they're not.
Right.
So the argument of that Scott Boras as his agent wants to make him the highest paid player of all time, I think that argument is kind of bullshit now because spring training's here, like you said. It's getting late real early.
What I would do if I was Bryce Harper at this point, but obviously his statistics have taken a hit the last couple of years. But if he believes in it, I'd bet on myself, and I would go the Kirk Cousins route, and I would say,
yes,
yeah, I'll
idea.
sign with the San Francisco Giants. I want 2 years, $90 million. 2 years, $90 million to play in San Francisco.
It's not a bad idea.
I mean, I don't know. That's first of all. By the way, I'm only saying that because San Francisco has been reportedly like trying to offer him bigger deals for less time. But I don't think the San Francisco Giants are getting ready to contend. So I don't know if they're about to spend $45 million a year on one guy. But the other thing is, if I'm the San Francisco Giants or a team like that, hey, the goddamn Mets. I mean, the Mets should offer him fucking $35, $40 a year for a couple of years.
Yeah.
What? As a Mets fan, I don't want him for 10 years. And I said this on Dirty Slides. I kind of do want him to sign in the NL East for 10 years and cripple some team financially. But bet on yourself. The thing is, if you're take the San Francisco Giants, for example. Go the Paul George route. Offer him a ton of money for 2 years and then be like, you got paid. Now we're going to convince you why you should stay. Bochy left. New fucking manager. It's a whole new thing. We're going to rebuild. We're going to rebuild around you. Now sign a 10-year deal with us.
Long-term deals in sports, it doesn't matter the league. They're stupid.
We talked about this on Dirty Slides in the history of Major League Baseball. The big deals, almost none of them have worked. The only one that you can say without a doubt was a full-blown success was A-Rod's Texas Rangers deal. Now, you could say, well, he didn't make the Texas Rangers a contender, but that's on the Rangers.
Yeah.
The Rangers gave him all the money, but he earned his money there.
Sure.
And then he went to the Yankees, and he was so good still at the end of that deal that he got another massive deal.
Yeah.
But he earned that money, and he's basically the only other guy that you could say is like if Scherzer somehow continues to dominate till like 2022 or whenever his deal's over. But almost everybody falls. Do you know Miguel Cabrera's on the books till like 20? He's definitely on the book. I think he's on the books till like 2023, and then he has like an option for 2024 and 20. He's already done. Miguel Cabrera's not going to be playing baseball for 2 more seasons.
But it's not even just baseball. Any long-term deal. Same for basketball, same for NFL.
I mean, some of the basketball ones have obviously worked out, but they changed it so that you can't, have the 10-year deal anymore. Obviously, basketball, they capped it because they were like, teams are getting crippled over this. But like, I think Kevin Garnett signed the massive deal back in the day. He earned his money through the whole deal. Obviously, Kobe kind of died at the end. Patrick Ewing's a good example. I think he was making like $30 million his last year. But like, there was a couple of the guys that were super young when they were still giving out those big deals that like, man, like I'm sure Tim Duncan got a massive deal. I'm sure he earned it all.
But again, I don't know who's offering Harper $350 million out of nowhere. It already would have been offered to you, man.
Where are the Cubs? Where are the Dodgers?
They're not doing it.
Where are the Cubs? Where are the Dodgers? Where are the Yankees? Where the Red Sox obviously are fine in the outfield, but you got to talk about teams that have a ton of money, and I think the Phillies might have. The Phillies might have made him that offer, and he's like, "Fuck you, you're a cesspool of human garbage," and he called the Nationals. And he's like, "Guys, just offer me exactly what the Phillies offered me, and I'll come back." I'll tell you one thing, I kind of want him to sign with the Phillies because he doesn't want to. And if they give him $350 million and he doesn't want to be there, as a Mets fan, I'm kind of like, well, they're on the books for that money, and he's going to be miserable.
I think looking at Bryce Harper batted .249 last year.
Yeah.
For some reason, I feel like this stuff is all getting lost in the mix. He won the MVP when? 3 years ago?
Yeah.
He won it 3 years ago.
He's so young, though.
It doesn't matter. I'd say, fuck you. You're not worth it.
Honestly, the other thing with Bryce Harper, I think a lot of people, like, he was a catcher, converted to outfielder. A lot of people have been critical of his defensive play the last couple years. I mean, if I'm a team, I could be like, this guy could play first base. Like, I could make – I mean, he probably doesn't want to. But, like, I just think people aren't getting creative enough with Bryce Harper. I'm not a huge Bryce Harper defender or fan. I think he's probably a little bit overrated, but he's so goddamn young. He obviously cares. He obviously loves baseball. If I'm a Giants team, who else have you signed? You've basically just get Bryce Harper to sell tickets for 2 seasons and then try to convince him that the rebuild's on. And by the way, I was talking about this with Andy Laz yesterday. Bochy announced that this is his final year.
Yeah.
We were looking at the people that the betting odds on potential replacements. Here's a fun bet. Because I said it even before we looked at the odds. Buster Posey, 1,000 to 1. The next Giants manager, coming off hip surgery, hit 5 home runs last year. I mean, if his baseball career is suddenly cut short, like randomly in the middle, I could see him being a guy that doesn't want to leave, wants to be a lifelong Giant. Put $100 on it. If you got $100 to spare, put it on Buster Posey at 1,000 to 1.
It's a good return.
Yeah. You make a fucking 10, $100,000.
It's a great return. It's not a bad bet. I'm stoked, man. Spring training.
Yeah. You know what I'm going to say? We got to turn up. We're going to have to turn up this whole dirty sports thing for next season. Because next year for spring training, we got to give the Florida League a little love. This is like year 4. We've gotten to the Cactus League.
And this is year 3.
Okay. This is year 3 in a row?
No. We took a couple years off.
We took a couple years off. Then we went back last year.
We took we did 2014 because then the denting happened.
Yeah.
A couple weeks later, we got back. We took off 15, 16, and 17.
It's great because it's all in the same area. But Florida, next year, little road trip up and down. Fucking stop in Tampa, see the Yankees, go see my Mets in Port St. Lucie. The Grapefruit League.
I have heard a lot about those Tampa strip clubs.
Dude, did I tell you my story? I'm sure I've told my Tampa. I actually spent my last dollar there at a Tampa strip club. But Tampa was awesome. I used to go when my friend Tony was in the Yankee system, and I'd just go out and I would just pretend I was a middle reliever on the Yankees that no one's ever heard of. and like hot chicks in Tampa, like some 6'4", 22-year-old dude. Yeah, he's probably a middle reliever I've never heard of.
You know what we should do in Arizona? Let's claim that I'm the ball boy.
Let's claim that you're the fucking ball boy.
Yeah.
We should get you a little flapless helmet to wear around.
Like we're out. Like I'm just the ball boy. Yeah, I'm a trader by day and ball boy by night.
Trader.
I don't know. I'm a high school English teacher.
Why don't you just claim you're the bullpen catcher? You're like couldn't catch in the big leagues, baby hands, but I have a passion for it, so I just bullpen catch now.
It's not a bad one to go with. What's the process to become a ball boy anyway?
A ball boy? I think you've got to be a teenager or potentially special needs.
They're not. They're not, bro. Look, I watch the games. I go to the games. I look at those. I'm all over the map watching everything in the ballpark. These ball boys, a lot of times they're like old men too, but people who still can handle the glove pretty well. I'm just saying, like the ball boys can.
I think the first requirement is soft hands. Good backhand, got a lot of range.
I mean, there's plenty of ball girls out there too. I'm saying anybody who can handle the glove, you'll be able to handle it decently. They're not just
that's my favorite story from the old A's. The old A's guy was the guy who invented ball girls. He was the first one to put like hot chicks down the line as the ball girls, and one of them ended up becoming Mrs. Fields. She made cookies for She made cookies for all the players, and they were like, these cookies are hella good.
Wait, that's the story?
And now she's Mrs. Fields.
Yo, that's a great story.
Yeah. I forget what documentary I watched that in. It might have been in a 30 for 30 or something.
What if I told you her chocolate chip cookies were so good?
You know what it is? I think it's a 30 for 30 short just about her.
Mrs. Fields.
Yeah. She was a ball girl for the Oakland A's.
Those Mrs. Fields cookie cakes?
Yeah. She's a billionaire now.
She started as a ball girl.
Yeah. She was some hot chick making fucking chocolate chip cookies and getting filled up by the A's.
They were
I think she might have married one of them and then started a cookie company. Who knows?
Or if I can't be the catcher, bullpen catcher, or the ball boy, put me on the T-shirt cannon.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
You're the fucking
hype man.
You're the hype man for the
because it's normally attractive women, right? Or maybe a mascot.
Yeah.
Can I do something? We gotta figure out. We gotta go to Amarillo, the Sod Poodles.
Yeah, that's gonna have to be a trip for the summer.
We gotta set that up.
That'll have to be. That'll be we're already. I mean, I don't know if we should show our hand this early, but we're already planning another stand up in stadiums tour.
We're trying to set one up
and hit some of the ballparks I still have to check off my list. Amarillo. I mean, I haven't been to any stadium in Texas. I haven't been to the Rangers. I haven't been to the Astros, Sod Poodles. I mean, just a Texas tour for our Sod Poodles.
Texas is such a big state, man.
Yeah.
Like, Amarillo's nowhere near.
We should just do a Texas League fucking tour. You know how many ballparks there are in Texas?
Oh, it's probably a ton.
Yeah. There's a whole Texas League.
We end it by you tossing me over the border in Juarez
Yeah.
to the drug cartel.
Just Texas Leaguer you over just like a little sinking flare. Ruther just clears the second baseman, makes it into Juarez.
That's like the capital of all the violence, right? It's
Yeah.
always Juarez.
Yeah. Juarez. That's where tons of violence and tons of human trafficking and tons of drug trafficking. Even though there's a massive wall between Juarez and El Paso. It's
Interesting.
Weird. Yeah, I don't know how they managed it.
So it's not working.
That's what I'm saying.
Kind of like that wall that divided East and West Germany. Did not work. Have any walls worked?
Sure.
You want to hear
some have.
you want to hear a joke I wanted to write last night?
Remember the wall Rodney McRae ran through in the minor leagues?
I wanted to write this joke last night. The only wall I support is Pink Floyd.
It's a good one.
Should I still tweet that out?
Sure.
Can you tweet something out you said on air?
Why not? My joke about my joke that I made about your mom and sharks and priests has turned into a fucking bit that's going to be I'm doing in a showcase next week.
Wait, what?
Yeah. The shark priests bit?
Really?
Yeah. It's going to be my closer in a 5-minute showcase set. It's turned into a great joke. I worked it out in new bits.
That
Lachlan Patterson.
That you debuted that on here.
Basically, yeah. I mean, I'd kind of had an idea, and then your mom just walked into it,
Yeah.
literally, or didn't walk into it for that matter, because she refuses to go in the ocean. But it all came together when your mom, religious person, was afraid of sharks.
Yeah, man.
So when you see that one on late night TV, you can remember it started on the Dirty Sports podcast when Andy's mom, who is Catholic, was afraid of predators.
She's afraid of everything. She's like, oh, my God, you're going to the mountains with mountain. I'm like, no mountain lion's going to straight up attack me. Although it did in Colorado.
You got attacked by a mountain lion?
No, that dude who killed the mountain lion in Colorado.
Wasn't it like a 30-pound mountain lion or something like that, though?
Yeah, but still.
Guy killed a cat.
He was all...
Killed a fat house cat. Strangled to death a fucking...
I think it was like a 40-pound... It was like a cub.
Yeah.
That's another way...
The dude just rolled around and strangled to death somebody's fucking tabby cat. This thing came at me, so I had to fucking murder it.
He's like, I fucked up Garfield today.
Yeah.
So what would you do? Because these rumors...
He was 40... To be fair, he was 40 pounds. A lot of people have been reporting 35, but he had 5 pounds of lasagna that morning.
Whatever happened to Garfield?
I think he died when the Bill Murray movies. Like, if Bill Murray can't make it work, I think they just shut it down.
Like that
I'm sure he's still a comic strip, right?
I remember watching Garfield cartoons as a kid.
Yeah.
What was his owner? Was his owner Andy?
John.
It was John.
With no H.
You got an issue with that.
And no. I just remember. And Odie, wasn't it the dog?
Odie. Yeah, Odie was the dog. That's a good dog name.
Yeah.
Odie. I like that.
We had a foster dog that just got adopted. I named it Cheese. And it was fucking, what a great dog name.
Nah, I'm not a fan.
You didn't like it? Cheese? He was great. I'd be like, Cheese! He'd come running.
So that's his name now?
I don't know if the new I pushed strongly.
Those are good-looking dogs, by the way.
Yeah.
Do you still have the second one?
Yeah. Gia. She's available.
Gia. I could never adopt a dog named Gia because I would think of that movie with Angelina Jolie where she's the model, and
Yeah.
I masturbated to it a few times in high school. So I can't own it. I can't own a dog
I
named
named her
after a movie I
short for
masturbated to.
Giardelli because she kind of looked like a chocolate caramel that we were eating when we got her. But I think the rescue named her like chow mein or something like that. Not chow mein, like some fucking Chinese dish.
I need a bigger place for a dog, man. That's what I've decided. Although I was,
Or just a small dog.
I'll be honest. The thought did cross my mind of stopping by a couple times just to check the dogs out.
Come see Gia today. She's a real fucking sweetheart.
But again, I told you, I can't adopt a dog that I jerked off to a movie named after.
Well, you could change her name. She's a fucking puppy. You name her fucking Fred McGriff if you want. Name her Odie, for God's sakes.
Odie's
Just save this goddamn dog's life.
Okay. So the news came out yesterday that
You could name her Joe Panu if you want.
the news came out yesterday that Sierra, is it Sierra?
Sierra, yeah.
Russell
Sierra,
Wilson's
one of 'em.
wife wants him to go to New York because it's better for her music career.
Was that the report?
That's the report.
Okay. I saw Colin Cowherd talking about it, and here's my thought. First of all, this is a negotiation tactic by Russell Wilson with the Seattle Seahawks. I don't think he's
His contract is up at the end of next season.
correct. I don't think it's a real thing. If it were a real thing, I wouldn't be a fan of it. I've made it pretty clear my feelings on Russell Wilson, but you know, there's a couple different things. Like, I wouldn't be 100% against it, but I'd be 100% against it if the reason that Russell Wilson wants to go to the Giants is because his contract's up and, you know, they've got a ton of weapons and whatever, and he's like, I want my next deal to be with the New York Giants. And if Russell Wilson wants to come to the Giants and get re-signed and be a top 5 paid quarterback, then I'm like, no, I'm out. I have no interest in that. Now, if Russell Wilson is saying, hey, my wife can make more money in New York, I can get more endorsements in New York, they have a ton of offensive weapons, and they give me a chance to win in New York, I'll go to the New York Giants and I'll play for $15 million a year. Or
That's not happening.
Here's the thing: if he said that, I'd be like, great, come on, we'll figure it out. We'll spend some extra money on some offensive line so you don't fucking get sacked every goddamn play.
What quarterback outside of basically Tom Brady has taken a pay cut?
Well, here's the thing about Tom Brady, though. Everybody,
and even this year, by the way, I looked at the numbers. Like this year, Brady's going to make a lot more than Russell Wilson.
Right. But people love to slurp Tom Brady for taking less money to help the team.
It was just restructured.
Yeah. Also, I believe that Tom Brady believes exactly the same thing that a lot of people believe about Tom Brady and the Patriots, which is he wouldn't be Tom Brady if he weren't on the Patriots. And if he'd refused to renegotiate his deal, Bill Belichick would have been like, dude, we can get it done with Jimmy Garoppolo at fucking half the price, at a third of the price, at none of the price. So it's kind of restructure or get the fuck out.
Yeah.
I don't think it was as much as him trying to help the team as him going like, I actually know my true value.
Sure.
And that is the thing with Russell Wilson. If Russell Wilson, I think Pete Carroll's a good coach. I think Pete Carroll's a top 5 coach. I think the Seattle Seahawks know that they're in the process of a rebuild. And at the end of next year, are they re-signing Russell Wilson to a massive deal? Like, maybe they are because you don't give up on a franchise quarterback, but maybe they aren't.
But hold on, you can say rebuild. They were supposed to be. They won 10 games last year.
Right.
I mean, to me, that's not a rebuild.
But again, it's a Super Bowl or bust league. I don't think that.
I think there's a few things at play here.
I don't think Pete Carroll thinks they're winning the Super Bowl next
One
year.
is I think Russell Wilson is smart enough to realize he excels under Pete Carroll. But Pete Carroll will probably retire after the 2022 season. That's how long Pete Carroll's contract goes. So I think that's a major factor. Does Russell Wilson want to sign a long-term deal knowing he only has a couple years possibly with Pete Carroll? 2, Russell Wilson, while I really like him as a quarterback, he's a cuck.
Okay.
Like, I'm just going to call it as it is. Golden Tate banged his ex-wife. And
He's raising another guy's baby.
And he's raising a rapper's baby. And to be honest, I think she runs that relationship.
So that is the question. Question is,
which therefore makes him a cuck.
The question is, does she run it enough where she's gonna where he would go to New York for less money? That she wants to be in New York.
That's a good point.
And he thinks he thinks maybe he cares about legacy. Maybe he's so Christian. Maybe he gives away half his money, and who knows how much he really needs. Like, if Russell Wilson wanted to come and be the New York Giants quarterback for $13, $14, $15 million, I'd be like, great, sure, come on. But if he wants to come and get another huge deal, and by the way, if his agent isn't stupid, of course he will get one. Every quarterback who's up for a new deal gets the biggest deal ever.
Yeah.
Like, as an athlete and as a person, if I was out there, could I handle taking like a half of the money that Kirk Cousins gets when I know I'm exceptionally more talented than Kirk Cousins? No, I don't think I could do it. I'm kind of an asshole like that. Maybe Russell Wilson sees this as like, but like, we'll make up the difference in how much she can make. I'll make up the difference in endorsements. I'm in New York. My legacy of having Odell and Saquon and Evan Engram and whatever. The problem is, as a Giants fan, I don't want him to get $25 million because, first of all, some of those guys have to go away. But second of all, and most importantly, I think forget Odell and Saquon and Evan Engram and whatever. I think what Russell Wilson needs to be a Super Bowl winning quarterback are the two things that the Giants don't have that they're not going to get if they have to hand over $25 million to a quarterback, which is an offensive line and a defense and a lockdown number one fucking defense. I don't think you hand Russell Wilson $25 million, you're going to be able to pay those guys. They're already talking about not paying Landon Collins.
Well, see, this is where
I'd rather take, and I don't know a ton about him, but like, I'd rather take Kyler Murray on a rookie deal than Russell Wilson as a top 5 paid quarterback on the New York Giants.
Well,
facts.
See, I don't know about that personally. But
look at how it's worked.
And this is where we
Tug was once again mentioned, that Tug has returned to the show. Tug and I's theory that now has been co-opted by everybody else. The quarterbacks on rookie deals, you can pay to put talent around them.
You can, but it is a Super Bowl or bust league. Tom Brady keeps winning the Super Bowls.
Tom Brady keeps fucking taking less money because he knows it's all about the fucking Patriots and Bill Belichick.
See, this is where we disagree. I think Russell Wilson can win. This has been our fundamental disagreement on him with those type of players because he's never had a cast like.
I'm not saying no. Hold on. I'm not saying Russell Wilson gets worse having sick weapons around him. Of course, he gets better.
Yeah.
I'm saying Russell Wilson's chances of winning a Super Bowl are significantly higher with the number one defense than crazy weapons around him.
Well, I mean, you can say that for any quarterback.
You could, but you could look at, guys also who fucking.
I mean, Tom Brady's defense held the Rams to 3 points. We both know Tom Brady did not win that Super Bowl. Tom Brady had 2 touchdowns and 3 interceptions this playoffs. Tom Brady didn't do shit this playoffs.
Right.
It was his defense.
But my point is this. The Giants already have those guys. The Giants already have the offensive weapons. Now they need to build an offensive line and a defense. Paying a quarterback $25 million significantly hurts their chances of doing that. They're already in a situation where Landon Collins is tweeting everything in his lockers because maybe he doesn't want to be franchise tagged. Landon Collins might be gone. You already have a great safety. You already can't pay him.
Yeah.
You can't. If you can't pay him because you paid Odell and you're going to have to pay Saquon and you can't pay him because you have Eli Manning on the books right now. So you can't pay Landon Collins, how are you going to bring in Russell Wilson and pay him more than you're paying Eli?
Well, if I'm Russell Wilson,
but again, if he wants to come for $13 million, come on over, man. Come on over.
It's
know your
worked.
actual value, and we'll welcome you with open arms.
It's worked in Seattle. Again, I think Pete Carroll, like you, I think he's a great coach. I wouldn't leave, but I also think the cuck factor. That's a major.
I think this is a negotiation ploy from Russell Wilson with the Seahawks. And look, I think Pete Carroll knows what he's doing. If I'm Pete Carroll.
Bro, he's going to drop the Jesus told me to go to New York shit.
If I'm Pete Carroll, I put a number in my head that I'm willing to pay Russell Wilson to build around for the future, and I don't budge from that. Because I don't like let's look at the Seattle Seahawks. Well, I know it's like, he's been successful there. Well, he hasn't been successful there, and the only thing that matters in success in the NFL since signing this deal. He's a Super Bowl winning quarterback, just like we've been talking about with when he was on his rookie deal. Suddenly he's rich, and they got no fucking, and Sherman leaves, and all the fucking defense leaves, and now they're winning 9 games, and he's doing it all by himself. And what a fucking legend! He went 10-6 with this Seahawks team. Awesome. Well, if 10-6 with a fucking super paid quarterback is your goal, then the 12th man, you fucking lap it up.
But again, what you're saying is a bigger state of the NFL in general. You're basically saying at this point, and I believe Tug also believes this, is that you're not going to win Super Bowls with max player deals, these huge deals. And I guess you could argue that for all these guys. I mean, are you saying the Packers, let's just use them as an example, can't win a Super Bowl because Aaron Rodgers has a massive deal?
Well, I'll say this. One, it hurts their chances, of course.
Sure.
But everybody's got to get he's just a man. You know what I mean? He needs also to get paid. And if he believes he's the best quarterback in football, which I believe, then he deserves the most money.
Yeah.
And, 2 years from now when Patrick Mahomes is up for his deal and Aaron Rodgers is on the decline and he's still throwing 50 touchdowns a year, he deserves the most money.
Well, Patrick Mahomes, I believe this is also his last year. I think Patrick Mahomes, they're already saying, is going to get the largest deal in NFL history.
And I understand that. And yes, of course it will hurt the Chiefs' chances of putting talent around him. But, and this is where, we disagree, and we're not going to go down the road because no one's going to budge. But comparing what Russell Wilson does for the Seattle Seahawks to what Aaron Rodgers does for the Packers and what Patrick Mahomes does for the Chiefs is laughable to me. Laughable. They should not be discussed in the same class of quarterback. And I don't believe that they are. And that's where the question of I'm coming from the perspective of a Giants fan. The reports are he wants to be a Giant, okay? So I'm a fan. I believe I'm a smart fan. I believe I'm a fan who understands the finances of it, and I believe I understand that it's a Super Bowl or bust league. Yes, I want Russell Wilson as the New York Giants quarterback next year. I want him. I want him for a budget price. Now, we'll pay him next year. We'll pay him next year what he's owed. But then moving on, do it for fucking $14 million, and you can be the Giants quarterback of the future. Come on over. If he wants to be a top 5 paid quarterback, I have no interest. I'll take Kyler Murray, who's basically, short, athletic, blah blah blah, all the things that they said were the reasons that Russell Wilson. And I'm not even a Kyler Murray guy. I'm not even. But I'm saying I'll take him at a sliver of the price.
Well, the bigger question to me
is Russell Wilson going to be 50 times more productive than Kyler Murray will be next year?
Does the NFL, do teams, I should say, in the NFL stop doing these massive deals? And that's the big question, because we're seeing it unfold that these guys on the rookie deals are taking teams deep in the playoffs. That's the big question. Aaron Rodgers, again, got the last big deal. But are they going to continue this?
So this is my conspiracy theory. My conspiracy theory, and I'm glad it relates to another conspiracy theory man in Pete Carroll. I believe Pete Carroll and the Seattle Seahawks think that they might have to be the first team that gets on this bandwagon. We're only going to pay a quarterback his value. It doesn't matter that he's won us a Super Bowl and he deserves this much and people love him. We're only going to offer him this much because he's great and we love him, but we can't let him cripple our team with a massive contract that is significantly more than what his actual value is to our team. I don't think if you're a team that you can hold that position for a Mahomes or a Rodgers. Those are guys I don't think you can, if they want the most, you could try to convince them how that hurts them in the long run, but I don't think that you can hold it. I think the Seahawks can hold that stance with Russell Wilson, and I think that this wanting to play for the Giants is the first attempt from the Russell Wilson's camp to fight back this idea that we'd rather have somebody cheaper than we would pay Russell Wilson all the monies in the world for a second time. I think Pete Carroll and the Seattle Seahawks are already thinking about, which is what I've said about Russell Wilson in 2019, 2020. When this deal's up, I can 100% see the possibility that the Seahawks are like, we're good. Oh, you want $25 million? Go get it.
Well, if that does happen, I assume it would set a precedent for all these other teams around the league to not give everybody from a Matt Ryan to a Matthew Stafford to a Derek Carr
to a Kirk Cousins to
big-ass deals.
Yeah. Because some of those guys I like and some of those guys I don't like, okay? But as much as I think Matt Stafford is underrated and Kirk Cousins is overrated, in the end, they're giving you almost the same production.
Yeah.
One way or the other. Now, who's a better leader, who's, going to be clutch come the playoffs, who's blah, blah, blah. All that stuff is neither here nor there. You can't factor, you can factor it in a little bit when you're offering a guy a contract, but in the end, it's production.
Sure.
And that's why the Ryan Fitzpatrick thing that always comes up is like, Ryan Fitzpatrick's giving you almost that production, but he's doing it every year on a fucking nothing deal, except for the deal that he signed with the Jets. Like, it's all about value. And I think, just like it's happening in baseball, somebody's going to be the first one to say, nah, you want to go get paid? Go get paid. We can't do it. Can't do it. And I think Pete Carroll's smart enough, and I think that this might be the first part of a negotiation from Russell Wilson to say, oh, you guys don't want to pay me? There's already talk you're only going to give me this much? I want to go to New York. I'm hoping.
I'll be curious how it plays out.
I'm hoping that the New York Giants aren't dumb enough to bite on, oh, he wants to come here, let's offer him fucking a ton of money. I'm hoping that they're smart enough to also know that this is the trend, but who knows?
Well, we shall see. Let's get to some calls. Let's wrap up the show. We have not done calls, a lengthy amount of calls, and I want to bang out a bunch. And you know what? It's been so long, Joe. I think we need to play the Dirtball Call intro.
Great.
Circa Beverly Dillon Mata made it. 2015 is when this debuted. Let's bring it back. Dirtballs, dirtball calls.
Yeah.
Dirtballs, dirtball calls. Dirtballs, dirtball calls. We got the dirtballs, dirtball calls. A classic, right? Was that the first thing he did?
No, I think he did some stuff before that. Didn't he do You Stuttering?
Oh, I have a whole folder of those.
I think You Stuttering might have been the first one, but who knows?
You think
Bev, send us the.
You think that was the first one? Hold on, you want to hear some of those?
Send us your discography when that should happen.
No, I have the timeline. These ones came. I just stuttered right there. This
Who
one,
do you?
There's that one.
Good one.
These ones came out I have them in my folder from July 16th, 2015. Who do you call?
Yes, busted!
I like this one.
Who do you think you are?
That's a good one.
We have a lot of gems in here.
Who do you love?
There's a lot of gems on here. These are some old classics. Look at all these, Prano.
Let's get to some calls.
Okay,
I love giving Bev some love.
Let's get to some calls. All right. So the first call is actually, I mentioned it earlier, from John, our boy John Smith.
John Smithy.
He was at the Duke, North Carolina game.
I know. Brought me back.
What is going on, boys? Just on the road, headed to one of the greatest college basketball rivalries of all time, Duke and Carolina at Cameron Indoor Stadium. Going to see Zion Williamson. And I was checking on SeatGeek. Make sure you use the promo code DIRTY for $10 off your first SeatGeek purchase. Free plug for you guys. And ticket prices for this game this evening, anywhere between $3,600 and $6,000. This is in the range of the Super Bowl. My question to you is, if money wasn't an option or a relative option, what is the most you would pay for to get into a sporting event, and what would that be? And then another one, this is a great rivalry, but what are some of the other rivalries that might not be so high profile that you guys really like? Have fun. Stay dirty, boys.
So I think, first of all, let's do a reverse. First of all, I think Duke, North Carolina is without a doubt the number one college basketball rivalry.
Yeah, and that's a bucket list game for sure.
Yeah, I watched a half of it, as I've told this story many times before Pizza Star and I were kicked out of Cameron Indoor Stadium, and watched the second half at an Outback Steakhouse in Durham. But it was cool being there. But I gotta say, obviously, I'm not a huge college basketball guy. As cool as it was to be there, as cool as it was to see the excitement, going through Krzyzewskiville and the tents and all that, it's not even close to high on my list in terms of things that I would pay for. But other great rivalries, obviously. I mean, I think as far as rivalries go, it's like Duke UNC basketball, Michigan Ohio State football, Yankees Red Sox baseball. I mean, I think in the NFL, I don't think the rivalries in the NFL really like match some of these things. Although, like, you know, some of the AFC North, some of the NFC East rivalries are pretty legendary. Giants, Cowboys, Giants, Eagles, you know, Steelers, Browns, Steelers, fucking Ravens at this point is pretty epic. What other big rivalries are we missing?
You hit all the big ones that I would say.
Lehigh Lafayette, the most played college football game in history. It's actually a pretty fun rivalry. No one's played more in college football than Lehigh versus Lafayette.
To really enjoy going to Cubs-Cardinals games.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty big rivalry.
Yeah, that's a good baseball rivalry. Dodgers-Giants.
Yeah, it's a good one.
But let's be honest, like, Dodgers-Giants, I know the one dude got beat to death in the parking lot, and I know, you know, you got your Mexicans, but, like, from a full like fan base perspective, like, sorry, but Dodgers-Giants doesn't touch Yankees-Red Sox. It just doesn't. The history of it, the fucking, it doesn't touch it.
What about my favorite sports rivalry of all time is Ray Lewis versus his white suit.
Yeah.
Classic rivalry. Epic. I mean, you listed all the ones that I would like. The thing is about paying money.
Somebody's going to be like, what about Auburn, Alabama? It's like, yeah, okay. It's not Michigan, Ohio State, right? By the way, I went to the Iron Bowl, and it was fucking awesome.
I'd say Michigan, Ohio State's the biggest in college football.
I think so. And DSC.
Yeah, that's a huge one, too.
I mean, that's the big three in college football, right? I mean, like, Michigan State.
I know it's a shit game, but I think it'd be a real cool event to see Army Navy
Yeah,
just to go and see like
I've
the
been to
pageantry.
a few Army Navy games. Texas Oklahoma, Texas A&M back in the day. I know was like a fucking
Yeah,
big deal.
that used to be a good one.
But I mean, to me, and
If-
I hate, but I think Michigan Ohio State is
Yeah, and
the
if
clear winner in college football. Duke UNC is the clear winner in college basketball. Baseball is Red Sox Yankees.
and if money's not an issue, then
If money's not an issue, like I guess if money, like so the thing about Smith's question, which I think is misleading. It's like if money's not an issue, how much would you pay? Well, if money's not an issue, I guess doesn't matter how much I pay.
Exactly.
But if money's not an issue, what event would I want to go to more than anything? I think if money's not an issue for me, I'd want to see I would want to see the Knicks, a Game 7 NBA Finals or a clinching NBA game, and I'd love to do a courtside. Like, I don't think there's a sports watching experience like that tops watching a basketball game courtside. Like, I wouldn't care. Like, there's no seat in the house at the Super Bowl that's as good as being courtside at an NBA game. Even a baseball game, like right behind home plate for like the Mets or right behind the dugout for a Mets World Series championship. I don't know. You're so fucking close and it's so fucking small. And I think the most that I would ever pay, if money was no option, I would pay to see the New York Knicks in an NBA Finals game, preferably, obviously, a deciding NBA Finals game. That would be what I spend my money on. How about you, Andy?
Well, if you want to talk value, return on investment, I would agree with you that courtside NBA Finals doesn't. I'm saying this. Let's say you spend. Let's just use $10,000. Let's say you spend $10,000 courtside NBA Finals. The return on investment versus you paying $10,000 to go to the Super Bowl. There's nothing like a courtside seat.
Yeah.
It just doesn't compare.
Yeah.
Now, I'd love to see a Super Bowl. I've never been to a Super Bowl.
I've never been to a Super Bowl either. But like a lot of the Super Bowl is great on TV too. It like to go to the Super Bowl if your team's in it. I feel like what you're paying for is to say that you were there when they won.
Yeah. World Series is a lot of fun too, man.
Yeah. I agree.
I mean, the fanfare at a World Series game. Now, if you want to do
I've been to a lot of Knicks playoff games. The energy in Madison Square Garden pisses and shits on the epic energy that was in Citi Field when I went to the 2 World Series games. We had Syndergaard throwing over the dude's head to start Game 3. David Wright hits a homer in that game. Game 5, Harvey, people chanting Harvey to stay in the game. I went to a World Series game against the Yankees, Mets-Yankees Subway Series. Mets fans are great, especially when the Mets are playing well. The Garden in a second-round playoff series pisses on that energy. Pisses on it.
yeah.
Like you can't fuck that. And to have spike seats for an NBA Finals game in Madison Square Garden, that would be what I spent if I had all the money. If they were like, you have all the money and you can only go to one event this year, I'd be like, that's the one I'm going to.
All right, good question. All right, let's move on. Let's rattle some of these calls out.
Rattle them out.
Hey, Joe and Andy. It's McKay Parker, dirtball from Houston, Texas. Since Spotify now has the Dirty Sports, I was wondering if I could have permission to create a Spotify playlist just of different songs, different genres. It'd be a public playlist. And I just was wondering if I could get permission and if you guys suggest any songs that would be on the playlist. And for any of the other dirtballs who want to look it up, just go to Spotify and I'll make the playlist public and just search for official Dirty Sports playlist. Stay dirty.
What was his name?
Was it McCabe?
Okay. So I give you,
McCabe?
I
McCabe?
deem thee officially the playlist maker for the official Dirty Sports podcast playlist. I'm very in favor of this. If you could reach out on some social media as the guy, I would love Dirtballs to be able to give you suggestions for various reasons that they see.
A few off the top of my head, dirty sports related. Top Gun theme song.
Yeah, I was gonna say Danger Zone or
Yeah.
or Playing with the Boys, even better. The volleyball scene. Not Take My Breath Away.
Although that's a classic.
Yeah,
Well, Berlin. That's who sang that, right?
yeah,
Little Wu-Tang for Mr. Prano here.
yeah,
I'm currently wearing a Nirvana shirt.
yeah.
Got to throw in a little Smells Like Teen Spirit for me. Got to throw in a little Webby. INDEPENDENT.
Gotta
Do you
get
know
a
what
little,
that mean, man?
Got to get a little fucking Juicy J for the official song
Oh,
of,
yeah.
of the spring training trip. Always, bands make her dance.
What about ASAP Rocky with Skrillex?
Yeah, yeah, it's a good one.
Come on.
Those are definitely the two official spring training road trip songs.
Yeah.
I remember introducing you on the trip to that playlist, and you were like, "What is happening? Is that Skrillex?"
No, you know where you actually introduced me to
I introduced you to the Lil Wayne verse on the Juicy J track.
No. Hold on a
It's the
second.
best Lil Wayne verse ever.
You know where you introduced me to Wild for the Night was Texas.
Oh yeah,
When we went down there in 2013, you're like, yo, you got to listen to this ASAP with Skrillex. I was like, oh, shit, I'm losing my mind. That video is amazing,
Turned
too.
down for what? Seems like it should probably be there. Turned down for never, bro.
What about 2 Chainz and Lil Wayne, Rich as Fuck? I feel
Solid one.
I feel like we played that a lot
Yeah, yeah,
on the spring training mix.
yeah. All good selections. And hit them with your. I'm sure there's a million songs that have come up in this, for one reason or another, that I have absolutely no recollection of.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Have at
Do it. I'm not on Spotify, but I will. When that list is done, there is an app that will transfer it over to.
You get 3 months free.
I know, but I like Apple Music.
I'm a Spotify guy. All right. Let's hear from our old friend B Indigo.
Yeah, it was good. Be calling in about last week. Joe said he was giving up on white girls. I just wanted to support him because white girls are trash, and everybody knows it. They're flavorless. They're kind of boring. I don't know. So, yeah, just give them up. You're like 6'4". Get you somebody you can have a baby with and make an NBA star. You know, you love the NBA, and you should become a fan of the Lakers because you love LeBron. I love LeBron too. That's why I root for the Lakers. I think they can turn it around. Well, not so much after that Atlanta, but I still think they can turn it around because they got Bron. And Anthony Davis actually does get pussy just because I knew a guy that fucked a girl that fucked Anthony Davis at UK. So he got hella hoes. She was black. All right. Condoms are for people from Cleveland.
Wait, did he say Anthony Davis does or doesn't get?
Does.
Well, he's an NBA star.
Yeah, yeah.
Of course he gets pussy.
Yeah.
I believe you were so high when you listened to that episode, B. I was the one saying I was giving up white girls.
You are giving up white girls. I have always been, when it comes to women, I'm a variety is the spice of life kind of guy. I love all women. It would be hard for me to give up white girls. That would offend my girlfriend probably pretty thoroughly. She's white. So that'd be bad. I just go home and be like, I'm giving up white girls.
Well, and the
But I do like. I mean, you know, I've always said I am looking for somebody for purely athletic breeding, and that my thing that I'm really looking for is like a 6 foot tall Brazilian former model turned professional volleyball player, or vice versa.
Well, the thing is, I said I was giving up white girls, but I'm like Prano. I mean, I've dabbled. Like, if I really think about it, I've dabbled in a lot of races, a lot of different countries. I'm kind of proud of my resume, to be fully honest. Uh, but I can see the advantage of non-white girls. And to be honest, now that I tell you guys everything that's on my mind, I'm pretty honest and forthright. I've been in a new phase of my masturbation habits. I've been basically the last month mostly jerking off to white dudes fucking black chicks. Which,
Weird, creepy, and you should stop entirely for the marathon.
but hold on, my point is that means maybe I'm trying to look for that in real life. No, here's the deal about the marathon. I think I'm not going to have sex until I finish the marathon. But I'm not giving up jerking off.
Why not? How all in on this are you?
I don't know. I mean, I'm all in, but like, I don't know how that'll affect me.
Can't hurt.
Yeah, but I think it loosens me up a little.
Okay.
I might be an angrier person if I got all this pent up.
Yeah, run angry.
I am going to be doing it for a charity, just so everybody knows.
Okay.
I'm going to unveil that in the next week. I'm working on some things.
Are you taking the veal out of it?
The what?
I love it. I just love how you pronounce some things. I'm unveiling it. Unveiling it.
Unveiling it?
Welcome. We are unveiling the charity soon.
Okay, so you have said that you want to pick a new NBA team, possibly.
I have, yeah. I mean, the rumors, obviously, true or not, of James Dolan selling the Knicks could really throw a monkey wrench in that. But
All right, well, we have a pitch for you.
okay.
Let's hear it out.
What's up, guys? This is Savage here from Dallas. #1 Venmo Dirtball. Shout out, Vince. I just wanted to make my case for Trano to become a Mavs fan. We got your boy Porzingis. We got Luka Doncic having the best rookie season since LeBron. We got rid of DeAndre. You like how Cuban kind of played the long con? Played the long con with him. He ended up cutting him, sending him to the crappy-ass Knicks. We got rid of fucking Wesley Matthews' contract. We got rid of Harrison Barnes' contract. We got a future in front of us. We got plenty of room for a free agent. Hopefully not Durant. I'd like Thompson, maybe a Kimba. We're going to be good. Condoms are for James Harden and the Houston Rockets. Go Mavs.
So I've actually gotten a number of the two teams that I've gotten far and away the most suggestions for, without a doubt. There's two that I got, and then the rest there's no third place basically. The Mavs and the Kings. People are big on the Kings, big on the Mavs. Kings, fun team. I like it. There's some potential there. Here's what I'll say about the Mavs. And I'm going to start with all the things I like about the Mavs. First of all, I love Luka. Obviously, I'm a huge Porzingis fan. Love Rick Carlisle. Have always loved Rick Carlisle. Love Mark Cuban. Love everything about the personality of the Mavs since Cuban. Loved that championship team as much of a LeBron slurper as I am. I was rooting for the Mavs in that team in that series because I thought they put together a fantastic, once in a lifetime collection of vets plus Dirk plus all that stuff. I loved that Dallas team. I was a fan of that Dallas team. All of those things I love, like truly the maximum amount. I couldn't be a bigger fan of any of those things. That team, Carlisle, Cuban, Porzingis, Luka. Here's the problem with becoming a Mavs fan. I imagine that the Venn diagram of Mavs fans and Cowboys fans has a lot of overlap. I know it's a cross-sport thing, but I am not rooting for a team that brings happiness to Dallas Cowboys fans. So for that reason, in the words of Mark Cuban, I'm out.
Oh.
I will root for you guys. I'll always root for that Mavs team. But, in the end, I will not be taking up, allegiance with a Dallas-based team. I can't do it.
I get it. It makes
Good.
sense.
I hope I'll root for you. I'm sure there will be times when they're in an NBA Finals with Luka that I will be rooting for them. I'm a fan. I hope that you guys have all kinds of success. I hope Kristaps Porzingis is an NBA Finals MVP in Dallas. I will be rooting for that Mavs team to succeed, but I cannot pledge my allegiance as a basketball fan to a team from Dallas. I'm going to go down there. I'm going to, how long am I from being like a world-famous celebrity that can sit courtside for NBA Finals games? 6 months? 8 months? Suddenly I'm going to be sitting in fucking, an NBA arena courtside, and 200 rows up, there's a bunch of dudes in, jean shorts and Jordans and an old Tony Romo jersey.
Yo, fool.
I can't do it. Sorry. Love them, though. Go Mavs.
All right, so those are going to be the calls for today. We got through most of them, which is nice. The hotline is 310-359-8365. Thanks to everybody who left calls. And I want to bring up something real quick before we wrap up the episode. Lots of people have DM'd me again about the deleted episode.
Yeah.
Lots of people are giving demands. Ruther, you owe this to us. Well, first of all,
we owe you nothing.
thank you, Joe Prano. Look, guys, this would, no joke, have to be a contract that is legally binding, and there has to be a lot of work done. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. So if a Godfather offer, as it's often known, an offer you can't refuse, comes across our bow, and then it's such a great offer that we have to do the work involved, we'll do it.
Yeah.
But we're not replying to everybody that hey, what about this? Doesn't mean you're necessarily getting a reply. You slide into the Dirty Sports, hey, I'll give you $50 for the episode. You're not necessarily getting a yes or no answer from us. If you come with a Godfather offer, you'll get a reply. There's a lot of factors in this, too. I think a lot of people think they know why it's not out there.
Yes.
And it's a number of things. It's a long episode. A lot of things.
4 hours and
you
29
might have
minutes.
You might have missed some little things here and there, which I think there's multiple factors on our end, so don't try to think you know what's happened.
And the truth is, I mean, it's 4 hours and 29 minutes. I have not fully watched it. I've
Yeah.
skimmed through.
Also, subscribe on YouTube and set your alerts.
I mean, I don't know how many times we got to say that.
Yeah.
And it is what it is. If you couldn't have watched it that night, sorry, guys. Sorry, you were busy playing video games. I don't know what you were doing.
Yeah.
But that's the episode. We're on YouTube, like Joe just said. We're on all things where podcasts are available, including Spotify. So subscribe to us. I have a couple packages. I'm actually going to head to the post office right after this episode to send out koozies. Again, if you send me a screenshot or a DM, you get koozies, which I love. I love sending them out, to be honest. I hate the post office, but I love sending you guys koozies because you support the show, and that means a lot to me. So I will be sending those out. Follow us at The Dirty Sports on Instagram and Twitter. And, again, Joe is giving away Porzingis jerseys if you follow him.
Follow me at Joe Prano on Instagram. This episode next week. So today's the Thursday episode. The Wednesday, Thursday episode of next week, live on the air. I will go into my Instagram. I will click on my followers. I will hit a random letter that I don't see to search my followers. And the first name that comes up is will get a, provided I can verify that they are a dirtball, we'll get a brand new Kristaps Porzingis Knicks jersey. So follow me at Joe Prano. Follow me on Twitter at Fix Your Life, unless you have a Bible quote or an American flag or Me Too or Black Lives Matter in your bio, then don't.
You're eliminating everyone on social media.
Basically, that's what I'm trying to do. You know what I've decided? The purge has begun. If you have Prano 2020 in your bio, you will be safe. That's for sure.
But if you...
That's the only political stance that I believe in.
If somebody has all that stuff, can't you just separate that and just be like, they're idiots?
I mean...
It's tough for you.
It's tough for me because the thing is I often get idiotic comments, and when I get idiotic comments, I go so often they are somebody that, like, believes in the bearded cloud man or has a flag emoji. So it's like it's hard for me to separate because right now it seems like every time I check in on some asshole, I'm like, oh, of course that's what your fucking bio says. But Prano 2020ers will be safe, that's for sure. Go to joeprano.com for shows. We're going to be doing spring training the 13th, 14th, 15th of March. And then right on my way back from spring training, Andy, are going to be dropping me in Indio, Fantasy Springs Casino. If you're a Billions fan, Alan Havey is going to be the headliner that weekend for my Billions fans. So I'm doing the 15th, 16th in Indio. Alaska, if there's any Alaska dirt balls you have not shown yourselves yet, snowballs as I call them, I'll be in Alaska for the Alaska Before You Die Comedy Festival at the beginning of April, working on my New York dates for another return to the East Coast. So joeprano.com for all that stuff.
All right, you guys know where to follow me at Andy Ruther. All righty, that is the episode. Thank you for tuning in. Have a lovely weekend. And most importantly, don't forget, condoms are for pussies.